Hello everyone, Sarah Nolinger. Today is Monday, October 28th, 2019, and I'd like to do a product evaluation today of a product that I've gotten in a few weeks ago. Um, and what it is called is a water brick. Now, some of you advanced preppers will know that portability is an issue when you're storing water, and I can tell you by being a senior myself, I'll be 61 this coming December, that the older I get, the lighter something better be. So, for those of you that have 55-gallon water storage drums, once you fill those up, those weigh 456 pounds because basically water is 8 pounds, 3 ounces a gallon. And the more gallons you got, the heavier it gets. And then it also sloshes around, which makes it difficult to be able to lift and move by yourself. Now, with a dolly, that might make it possible to move that big drum. But even if you had 4 guys with you and you had to dump one into a river or lake to try to fill it up, to be able to get that monster out of out of a lake would be almost impossible, especially with the soft dirt and soil that you would be having to stand in. Once those things fill up, they're pretty much in place. Now, behind me, I have a few more water storage containers, like the blue one right here. That one is basically a 30-gallon container. And I can tell you right now that once that one fills up, it's going to weigh about 249 pounds. And that makes it also, that's a beast to have to move by yourself. Even if you're bear hugging, you can squat some weight. That with the water sloshing around, it takes some serious effort. Now, the all black one behind me, that's a 15-gallon water storage container. That weighs about 124 pounds when it's full. And then the sky blue one right here, that's by Rubbermaid. That one holds 6 gallons. And that weighs just a few ounces less than 50 pounds, but you might as well round it up and say 50 pounds. And again, for a senior, lifting 50 pounds is quite a bit. Now, the water bricks themselves, they hold 3.5 gallons. When they're full, they weigh just a few ounces short of 29 pounds. And when they're empty, they weigh about 2.5 pounds empty. Now, if you wanted to order some, you can go on their website. It's waterbrick.org. It's all one word. Or you can do what I did, go on Amazon, and Amazon has them. Again, it's just one word. Just type in water brick and they'll pop right up. Now, the biggest negative I can see is the cost. Now, comparison it to the Watermaid product there, a Watermaid container holds 6 gallons and it would run you probably about 15 bucks. But the water bricks themselves are $26 a piece in there, and they're just 3.5 gallons. Now, to me, I bought 6 of them at one time because that's the first price break you get is on 6, and 6 would run you $111, which breaks the price down to about $18.50 a piece. That's much more affordable than $26. And actually, the more of them you buy, the cheaper they do seem to get. So you may want to consider making a bulk purchase of 6 or more on them to be able to get the price break. But let me tell you a little bit more about the product, and let me tell you the attributes that I do like about the product. One, as far as the height, straight up and down, they're 18 inches. Then, as far as the width, which would be straight up and down, they're 9 inches. And then across the side, they're 6 inches. And then what you also notice is the raised molded sections and the indentations. Now, what that is for is these things will interlock. And that's the reason why they call them bricks. And I'll give you a little example of what I'm talking about. Okay, as you can see the raised portions here. These just lock right into place. And that makes them fully stackable. And they're not easy to knock over. I mean, they totally lock up. And I love that feature about them. Also, in each Waterbrick, there's also a handle so that you can lift them up and carry them. That makes them even more portable, and this is what the handle looks like. And you can see the loops on it. And if you want, you can probably take some vice grips or something once you put it on and squeeze that together if you don't want to ever be able to remove it again. But I like keeping mine loose. Then I'll tell you another feature about them that I also like. The mouth of it, that opening, is 3 1/4 inches across. I mean, I've got large hands, and I can almost get my hand inside that opening. Now, what that would mean to you is seeing that these are made of a high density polyethylene plastic. Now, I mean, it's tough. I stood on top of one of these. I weigh about 280 pounds, and this thing supported my body weight. I mean, it's tough. They're not going to tear up. They're super durable. Even when filled with water, if you drop on the ground, it's not going to bust like a water balloon. That's another feature that I love about these. But also, they're BPA free, which means that you can store food and water in them. And that's again why I like that large opening, because if you wanted to store, say, rice or beans or sugar, any sort of dry product or grains, you can put a big funnel up there and just pour a bag right down until they fill up. And yes, if you have oxygen absorbers, you can drop you some oxygen absorbers in there, screw the lid down, and these can, like I said, they lock up, they stack up, and they go up on the shelf for long-term food storage of 15 to 30 years. Now the lid itself, pretty good sized lid, has a liner, also has a plastic ring, rubberized ring in there that forms a great watertight seal. And again, when you put your oxygen absorbers in, that also forms an airtight seal so that you can keep air and other stuff out of it, and it'll help it to store for long term without that air getting inside there spoiling your food. But another feature that I like about them, along with the stackability, because what I did was I went to my closet and I just wanted to run a test, and I tried to line some across the floor lengthwise going into the back of the closet, and then I started stacking them up. And what I noticed was I was able to stack up at least 4 high, and then I still had plenty of room to hang my clothes. So for someone living in a condominium or in a retirement facility or any sort of a small apartment where space is critical, super. Just to use the bottom of some of the closets, the back end of the closets, to use for storage. Also, what I also noticed, again, with these only being 6 inches high, I took them and I slid them right underneath my bed. And coming down the side of the bed, I was able to run an easy roll of them down, and that's when I realized that I could ran 2 rows down, one on each side of the bed, all the way down to the bottom of the bed. And that dead space under there is nothing but a dust collector anyway. By being able to fit the water bricks under there, now that becomes ample storage. And again, these water bricks are going to hold food, they're going to hold water, and I've seen even some people that are putting bullets in them, believe that or not. And one guy had 22 in his, he had 9 millimeters, another guy had 223 in his, and they'll hold bullets. So I have heard since then that they've made a newer one that's kind of gray in color that is designed more for that. But before those came out, everybody was using these for food, water, and bullets. And with the fact that they stack up, man, and they lock up completely tight. I love that ideal. Then along with that, uh, again, I'm gonna reiterate the portability of them. This, they only weigh close to 30 pounds, about 29 pounds, 8 ounces when filled with water. And for a senior, that's ideal to be able to pick up and move versus trying to grab this Rubbermaid model back here that's not stackable, and that weighs 50 pounds. And to me, the older you get, the lighter something better be. So that makes it great for that. Then there's another product that you can buy with them, which I got me in about 3, and that is a water spout kit. That big wide mouth on the front made me think that there's a possibility if I was pouring water and I could slosh it around and be wasting some of my water that could be vital at that time period. So I thought, you know, if they had a spout for them, it'd be great to have the spouts. Now the kit itself comes with a replacement lid that has a hole in the center. It has the water spout itself, and then has a little nylon locking ring that goes on the back. And all this does is that hole, you just stick this in and you start screwing it in, and then on the inside you put your locking nut on. And you'd only want to go finger tight. I mean, for you he-men out there, don't use a wrench or anything out there, just made of plastic. And you don't want to strip them or tear them up. And then the spout itself, right in this area here that you see me pulling on, it has a rubber seal gasket that gives the watertight seal. Now right now, with this in this position, it's in the off position. You turn that around, it's in the on position, it starts to let the water come out. Now when you put one together, this is what it's going to look like. And it just screws on the front. And once you assemble one on, here again is what it looks like. All you do is just put it on the edge of a table, have your water inside of it. As you can see, you just have your water inside of it. You just turn your notch, have your cup underneath, and you're in business. And again, let me reiterate the features I like about it. That stackability feature is fantastic. I mean, you can't get around that for where space is critical. Then being able to slide it underneath your bed to use your bed as storage for them, or put them in the bottom of your closet, in the back of a closet somewhere to stack up and be out of the way. Like I said, you can go 4 high and still leaves plenty of room to hang your clothing. The weight itself is 30 pounds, just a little bit shy of 30 pounds. And then on top of that, it comes with a convenient handle that would make it much easier for you if you had to grab 2 of them and run them to your car real quick and go. A whole lot easier than trying to grab those big boys behind me or one of those 55-gallon drums and try to get one of those to your vehicle and want to throw one in. So for me, this meets the criteria for what I need for portable water storage. Plus I can go to a lake and fill those up and bring those back to fill up my bigger containers. And that's going to make it much easier on me being a senior than trying to lug one of those big ones in and throw it in the water and have to get in the water with it to fill it up and then hope that I can get it out of that soft soil. That's going to be a feat by itself. So again, I think they're great. You know, being a prepper, you're always looking for new products to try out and use. And for me, I love these things. You have to draw your own conclusion, but I hope I gave you enough information that you can decide whether this suits your needs or not. So I hope you enjoyed the video and keep on prepping. Bye-bye.